Okay, a little bit about IGSHPA and where we're at and where we're going. Who's heard of Ralph Waldo Emerson? Okay, and this wise saying, which actually he did not say, but it's attributed to him: build a better mousetrap, and the world will be a path to your door. Okay. In the economies of the late 1800s, where mice were probably a real problem, someone could build a better mousetrap, and people would find out about it, and they would be the path to your door. By the way, in our group, our staff at IGSHPA, I tried this out on our millennials. Okay, we got baby boomers such as me, and we skipped X, Y, and Z, and went straight to millennials. They didn't know who Emerson was, and they didn't know why you would want to trap a mouse, you know. So this didn't work on them. With ground source heat pump technology, we built a better mousetrap, and I don't use the word "we" as the early pioneers that are out here. Dr. Jim Bowes and his colleagues at Oklahoma State University built a better mousetrap, built a better HVAC system. Without getting into digital numbers, because we've got two speakers here that can get into all kinds of details with you, and we'll do so. The power savings range anywhere from 30 to 70% less than conventional HVAC. The useful life is at least twice than the above ground equipment. And the ground heat exchanger's life is not known, but a conservative estimate is 100 years. I don't know if that's 100 years or 1,000 years. It's a long time. It certainly takes care of me. And this next slide, I think, Don, it probably came from you. Over and over again, those claims that I made on the prior slide bear out with data. This is kilobtu's for Richland Middle School, where it looks like you've added 20% capacity and still reduce the cost and reduce the peaks on there. And Don Penn is going to get heavily into this. The world has not beat a path to our door. I've heard anywhere from 1 to 2 to a high of 3% residential. I think, Gary, you've probably said 1%. That's not beating a path to your door. How come? One piece of it, a major piece of it, is advocacy, education, and marketing of the technology. We can't wait for the world to beat a path to our door on this. This is a 28-year-old technology, somewhere in that range right now. We have less industry and government momentum as far as packaging and educating, like photovoltaics and wind does. We have no national recognized program of commissioning or quality control. Okay, if you build a house, if you ever watch HGTV, and they take a 100-year-old house and they tear it apart and they look at the electrical and the plumbing, and they say, "You got to fix this. You don't have no option but to fix this." The ground heat exchanger is invisible. Give me $5,000 or so of your money, and I'll bury it in the ground forever. The design and installation of ground heat exchangers, the ground heat exchanger requires specific technical expertise, utilizing research-based standards, and must fit into the constraints of available land. This is what IGSHPA is about. Okay. This is not rules of thumb. And the design and operation of the total system requires specific knowledge. There's a courthouse in Oklahoma that put in a system and ran it only in the summertime for 2 to 3 years and overheated the ground. And used a conventional boiler system to heat the building, even though they had this technology. First cost, I'm sure Garen and Dave are going to get into this. Yeah. This is a barrier. We don't have an apples to apples comparison to conventional systems because of this. But even an all-in payback of 5 years is probably twice that for a hybrid car. Whose sales, I think, in 2012 increased 12%. And that was at yesterday's gas prices. So we've got a good story to tell here. We just haven't told it. IGSHPA is the outreach unit at Oklahoma State University, College of Engineering, that conducted the initial research 27, 28 years ago, wrote the standards that led to the training. Right now, our training, accredited installers as our most consistent and highest, deals with the design of material options, pipe joining techniques, air and debris purging. The accredited driller workshop deals with grouting concepts, cutting and drilling fluids, and job site preparation and exit. Our newest is the Certified Geo Exchange Designer. Deals with the economic case for a ground source heat pump, design options for commercial buildings for engineers and architects. And then the BLA course, the building load analysis, that we have, I think, almost entirely one per year at the conference, deals with energy calculations, building simulation, and pumping design for ground source heat pump. Okay, in my mind, here's the theoretical cycle. Okay, particularly as it relates to HVAC, which now I understand is being retermed as comfort systems. Okay, the needs of society create research and innovation opportunities. In the case of Dr. Jim Bowes and others, I doubt that they surveyed the needs of society, to be quite honest with you. Once with research results, then you can't just build a better mousetrap. You got to advocate, you got to market, you got to train, you got to educate. And you have manufacturing, design, and installation. And this is a dynamic cycle. IGSHPA 2.0, which is our reorganization project title, has to deal now in all four of these areas. And it's a dynamic thing. We have to constantly adjust where we fit, and we got to fit in all of these places. Thank you, and